because it is precariously, if I just jostle it just even a little bit. Didn't even look to see if I look weird. Pretty normal, I guess. The funny part about this is right now, no one is in here. But if you watch this after it comes out, there will be. Well, you'll be watching it. And you'll be watching it right now. And that makes this kind of weird. But the reason why we are in here and I'm talking is because I like to start my lives a little bit early and let people see that I'm live and figure out a way to get away from work and hide their phone from their boss and listen in. I definitely should turn off my Bluetooth. That seems to be an issue. Sorry about that. Hey, Kev, how are you? Or is that Mandy? Who knows? Got the camera just oh so precariously placed on the dashboard here. How are you, buddy? I have sort of a direction I'm gonna go with this live, but it's me. It's a me, Kev. But yeah, so for everybody watching in the future, thank you for watching. I got a bug bite? That's weird. Thank you for watching. Crazy week at work. That sucks. Yeah, it's actually kind of hot in here. I have a sweatshirt on, but I might lose it. But yeah, I hope it gets better, as tomorrow is a Friday. Yeah, anyways, for anybody watching in the future, make sure to subscribe and do all that shit. As most of the views on these lives come after the fact. So, hope everybody's doing well. Make sure to do all that shit. And we're going to wait for when this hits 5 minutes. Then I guess I'll just start talking in some sort of a direction. But until then, I'm going to mess around. I had to bring back a ton of laundry. I'm at my mom's apartment right now. She had to go do something. I don't even really know what it was. But I stayed here with Arlo. She doesn't like being left alone for long periods of time. And I also had a lot of laundry. Not a ton, but all of my work stuff. And it's heavy stuff, you know. But yeah, it's freaking hot over here. I bet it's warmer over on the Jarrett's Journey side of the state, to be honest with you. We're a little norther than them too, I think. Or than you guys. But it's a beautiful day. It's been a beautiful week. 70, 80 today. Holy shit. It's in the low 70s over here. But it's definitely not creeping up to 80. Even yesterday, when I was driving down to Silverado to surf, dude, there was a lot of traffic. In the middle of the day, it was Wednesday, because today is Thursday. But man, it is, the summertime in Michigan is already hitting me hard. And every year straight across, nice. Every year it seems that I notice the subtraction in humans immediately. Like last year in Uncle Billy Bay, it's a huge small town, big for tourists. And man, there was like it was crowded one week and the next week it wasn't. And the temperature really didn't change until into December. But in this town, Holland, it is just freaking crazy. May is rough in Holland because they do this thing called tulip time. Sure you can figure out what that is, but it gets super busy, but like that's been over for about a week now and it is still it's just insanely crowded. I'm only in Holland to either surf or help my mom with stuff. Also the storage unit is here. But whenever I come here, it's like a headache. It's so brutal. And to further that point, uh just today alone, it seems like when I left work, mind you, it was like 11 in the morning, so like normal people haven't even really been doing stuff for that long. I saw in the span of just driving from my work to the Meijer to the dispensary and the highway in town, like 8 people get cut off. And I'm a defensive driver, shall we say. And even I was shocked at the plethora of ignorance on each end. It was shocking. It was shocking, but I safely traversed all of that without getting slammed into. You know what I think the biggest thing is? Uh, yeah, dude, they plant the tulips. Yeah, man, pretty much. They plant tulips everywhere. But I think people they don't like to be behind the van because they can't see around the van. And then when they pull up and see that I'm a human being that realizes they're driving ignorantly and then uses my van as basically, well, I don't want to use it as a weapon, but I tactically use my van to screw them over. I see people learn lessons very quickly trying to cut me off. And most of the time it works because this thing is slow as fart. But when I can, I think I've said this on a different live. I'll follow somebody 30 minutes out of the way just to cut them off if they've cut me off. That's where I'm at in life. But anyways, I figured today would be a nice day to sort of just talk about where I'm from, why I'm here, and most importantly, where I'm going. And this might I got so many new subscribers in different ways. I don't even know how many people actually watch my long form stuff or if it's just a revolving door of new people watching shorts. But either way, I think it's funny that I'm from Denver, so like you could river surf in Colorado, and obviously like there's a lot of reservoirs, so people do wakeboard and stuff like that. But the idea of me surfing, and I had never touched a surfboard until I started all this shit. So the fact that I'm from Colorado or Denver is one of the weirder things. But that's where I was born. I was born there and I lived there till I was 18. I was a rambunctious child. Even as an actual child before I started, drinking and doing drugs and getting real crazy. I was just always like, grew up in the 90s, things are different than they are now. But man, I've always been extremely high strung. I have always got up really early, which is another weird thing. Like even now, I prefer to start work at like 2 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the morning if I can. Uh, really, honestly, because I don't have anything to do most days. It's only surfing or ending up at the beach anyways or working out or something. But I just prefer to get all of my things done early, and then lately, especially with this current job allowing me to start super super early and actually work super early, I just fall asleep by like 5 or 6 o'clock most days. And it's sometimes that sucks because just like yesterday the waves didn't even hit until 5. um it's kind of funny because today, since I did that yesterday, I had to be up late and I went to the gym. Today was the first day that I was ever like woke up after my alarm went off and I had to call my boss and tell him I was going to be late. I didn't stay at the course last night. I stayed up here. Uh, and it's funny because like I'm never late for work, mostly because I fucking live there. But it was funny today. I didn't get in trouble or anything, but it was comical. But yeah, so like I've always got up early, and I've always just been fucking like really ready to go with whatever it is. Like when even if like when I was younger, it was just like going outside and riding my bike or doing something. It's always been like this. Like it's always been how my YouTube channel is, and it's always been just going a lot. And yeah, it's really interesting that now like it's just that's how this my surfing is, my YouTube channel is. That's how everything sort of just falls into place. And looking back, it's good that I can look back and see these similarities, especially to when I was a kid. But like, I find it really bizarre that there was a time, obviously, like when I'll get to that. But yeah, I find it really bizarre that my I mean, I'm almost 40 now, and my life now is more like it was when I was a child. Like I wake up and like I have only fun things planned. You know, obviously now I have to work and I love my job, so whenever I go there never like it's never I never suffer having to go to work. Even if I miss waves, like even if I was to have to miss the worst day, the best day at the best day surfing for the shittiest job at my work. Like all things considered, I'm super lucky to work there. And it's just crazy that yeah, my life now is more like it was when I was a kid. I wake up to do fun shit, planning fun stuff. Yeah, it's nuts. But anyways, lived in Colorado until 2005. So like I said, rambunctious kid. Finished high school, believe it or not. Most people that I grew up with definitely never thought that I would, but I did. And I got into I mean, getting into Northern Michigan University is about as hard as getting into the library. Plus, my dad graduated from there, so I got in-state tuition. So I moved from Denver to Marquette. I've been going to Marquette for my whole life. Like the UP, basically every summer, I would go there for at least a month. Mostly, I would just stay there for the entire summer, and um, we would go up in winters sometimes. I don't even know why we would leave Colorado to go up there just to see my family, really. But so we would do that. But I spent a lot of time in Marquette as a kid. But then I moved there in I think it was 2005. Yeah, I lived with my mom most of my life. But I saw both my parents divorced when I was 2, but I saw them like they both did their thing. So like I saw both of my parents quite a bit. My mom was an international flight attendant, so to be perfectly honest, I probably saw her similar amount to seeing my dad. My mom's mom was the one who stayed when I was a kid. She's the one who stayed at home when my mom went on trips. But so I moved in 2005 to Marquette. Mind you, my family never said anything. I grew up playing hockey, so that's what I did, and golf. Obviously, my dad was a caddy on the PGA Tour in the 70s or the 80s at some point. So golf has always been a thing. But I grew up playing hockey, so um, surfing was never a thing. Nobody ever knew that you could like surf, and nobody ever brought it up. I never saw anyone surfing on Lake Superior when I would go up to Marquette ever. My dad would like body surf with his friends, but they never knew about it. Only for school, but also because my rambunctious activities had kind of put me in a weird spot in life in that I needed to get out of Denver because my friends were just not a good Yeah, it was crazy. There were some real good waves. I'm gonna edit that video tonight, and I have another one coming out too. But it was pretty good. There's this dude named Logan. He is from here, but he goes to school in Virginia, and he just came back from school, and he's been like wanting to surf, so he's been really looking at it. And I said, "Why not?" And we scored. It was great. But so yeah, I went up to Marquette specifically for school, but also because I was getting into trouble. And honestly, I feel like if I would have stayed in Denver any longer, I would have developed a worse drug habit. Unfortunately, when I moved to Marquette, it only took about, I don't know, 3 years for my drug habit to turn into an alcohol habit. And that one hit hard. So I was up there for really only like 5 years. And I essentially like nobody in my family really wanted to deal with me because I was an alcoholic, drank extreme amounts all the time, and I was just hard to be around. And so they basically, like, my mom was down here, and I had to just come down here because nobody wanted to deal with me. Thankfully, though, when I got here, I don't know what clicked. I don't know how it happened really. The only thing that I can be perfectly 100% honest about is that I didn't have any money. So I knew I couldn't buy any alcohol. And if I went to rehab, they would withdraw me with medication so I wouldn't be like sick and stuff. So it only took about 6 weeks of me living down here for me to check myself into a rehab. That one didn't stick, but the next time it did. So, the drinking habit from Marquette was rough. Pretty much all my family is up there. I had a couple relationships, one kind of long one, um, very toxic and dysfunctional. I could go into that, but that's a whole nother vlog for itself. But yeah, I worked at some places, and it's weird when I was drinking and up there. I remember essentially everything. Grant, I did black out a couple times, but I remember a lot, and it was definitely a learning experience. My life is the epitome of things happen for a reason, I think. So Marquette was great. Now that I'm not a raging alcoholic, that place is probably where I will end up at some point when I can leave here and not have anything. The only thing tying me down to West Michigan right now is surf and my mom. So if, well, yeah. So I will probably leave this area at some point, but I don't know. I'm going to be somewhere where I can surf all the time. That's for sure. But Marquette, if you are a outdoor person, level-headed, you have a direction in life, it's great. It is brutal winters, but more than likely now after I've sorted my shit out, I'll probably end up in the UP, you know. But that's not to say I might not end up in South Carolina, which is also similar, just not as cold in the wintertime. So yeah, I moved downstate in 2010, and a lot of jobs, a lot of girlfriends. Well, more, probably about the same. I would say probably I've had like probably 7 or 8 jobs and 7 or 8 girlfriends since I've been down here, and you know, I found a good job that I don't plan on leaving anytime soon, and that's good. And it's in a good spot for surfing, so that's good too. But man, I tell you what, life is fucking weird. And the older I get, and the more time that I spend alone, it just gets weirder and weirder and weirder, and the things that were presented to make sense and did for a long time don't anymore. And man, it is fucking crazy. Life is so weird. It will change and turn, and man, there are some things that I look back and things were happening all around me, and I had no fucking clue. And I'm sure that they still are now, but now I tell myself that I've reached terminal velocity. Like, I know what I want to do for work and for fun, and for life, you know. So I've kind of just sort of found the rut that I'm gonna sit in, and now we're just going full tits. Hopefully we'll pick up a chick on the way, maybe two. But even if I don't, like, who fucking cares, you know? Who fucking cares? I was talking to my dad yesterday, and I this is something that I just sort of figured this out in my brain. But you know, I keep it together. I don't plan on ever drinking again, and I don't do any drugs anymore. I smoke weed. That's it. But honestly, the only real reason why I don't live extremely recklessly, and the only reason why I try to be a better person every day is just because both of my parents are still alive, and like they deserve for the I was, you know, like I said, I was a rambunctious kid for a lot of reasons. Even when I wasn't getting fucked up, I was a handful. And they kind of deserve a little bit of, you know, this normal fucking kid, normal son, doing cool shit, not making any real, you know, just not fighting life. And man, it's true. Like if either of them was a piece of shit or whatever, you know, if they sucked at being a parent, or if they were an asshole, or if they had issues that they couldn't figure out, again, I wouldn't be throwing like my health away, but man, I would just. It's the only real reason why sometimes I think like, don't fucking cut that guy off that just cut you off, or don't fucking get out of the car. And it's crazy, but I think by the time I'm 40 years old, so in basically 2 full years, I will have mastered the art of not giving a fuck and come to the realization that everything that happens to me is because of me, you know, good or bad or nothing. Because even I still now catch myself like back when I was younger, drinking or just more ignorant, didn't have a path. I would just be like, why the fuck does this happen to me? Like, why da 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 da? And it just is. That's what I'm finding out. It just fucking is. Like, there are 30 things. If something shitty happens to you or whatever, there's probably 30 things that happen that you could have done leading up to that to mitigate it. And I think where my first of all, I don't have any kids, so I was really lucky in that because I dodged a few bullets. But I think now I just control the things that come into my life. There's very few variables, but the ones that do pop in and out are none of them can really affect me too much. And even if some of them tried, you know, I'm good with life. I have stopped fighting life in the world. I have a relationship with my mom and my dad that's good. I like nobody has any animosity for anything, and if we're being honest, anything that could be construed as bad, people have it so much fucking worse. It's not even funny. And I find myself still, like I said, I say woe is me all the time. I say why this and I'm sad and blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, I have learned that through this van life and surfing, YouTube, all of this changing my life again. There's been 4 cams, by the way. There's child cam, when I moved from Denver cam, when I quit drinking cam, and now surfing cam. There was 3 up until this surfing. And now, this person that I am now is, I'm just trying to make sure. My dad said this. He's like, you got to take care of the 40-year-old you, you know? So what I want now, I think what I'm doing now will get me that in like 43 years old. That's my, if people can say the earth is flat, and people can say that they're a different sex than everyone might think, then I can almost predict my future. And I feel like if I can just keep fucking, like, not fucking with anyone and make sure nobody fucks with me, I truly feel like this is the way. I just gotta, like, the one thing that could derail stuff, and I do worry about this, not more than anything, but one of the things that I do worry about quite a bit is if I get hurt. I take pretty good care of myself. I don't put myself in any situations where I will be like, well, I'll get sick. But no, you never know when you'll get sick. But I am so reckless with, like, surfing. Um, it's what just yesterday surfing in St. Joe. It's one of the reasons why I just can't surf that Ado Country board in the summertime. It's most of the waves break on the first sandbar or second sandbar, and it gets shallow, especially at these spots that they dredge, and it'll just bounce off the sand. This 7.0 has got like armor on it compared to the 8.0, and this thing yesterday bounced off the sand I don't know how many times. But yeah, I hope that some people can watch this, in the future, and think about it in that aspect. Like, so if you got kids and stuff, what I'm saying doesn't really apply, because the second you have one child, your wants, not they're not over, but they're not even second, and you have to do things to make your child's life as good as you can. So you can't really think about what I'm saying in that aspect. But if you got a kid that's old enough to take care of themselves, or if you are single without a kid and you're just kind of stuck, it's you. It's you. And boy, oh boy, I've had these realizations a lot since I quit drinking, because the stopping drinking was something that just, it turned me into an empathetic human. So like and then I was able to look at myself and be like, holy fuck, like there's a lot of things that I was doing to myself that's like was making me drink. But if you have just even a sliver of freedom from children or any real responsibility, obviously most people have rent, they don't live in a van, so you can't really take that. But like if you're sitting humming and hawing wondering why is this or how come it isn't, it's just because you haven't fucking done it yourself. Just fucking do it. It's like what I did yesterday. I would drive all over with Bear, but it was only because I knew he didn't like sitting at the golf course all the time. So I've missed a couple swells this summer already because I'm like, I'll wait for a better one. I don't want to drive all around. But yesterday I was like, dude, I drove farther. Do I got something on my face? I was like, I drove farther with Bear on like every day. I would drive somewhere, basically to Uncle Billy Bay. So there's no reason why I wouldn't go yesterday. And like on my way there, I was just like, why didn't I go? Because I could have gone 2 days ago. And I should have gone 2 fucking days ago. Because money is meaningless. All the things that people chase is really meaningless. Again, if you got a kid, it's a different story. But man, I was gonna do this live yesterday, and I'm glad I didn't. But I just think, and I look around and I see a lot of weird things on I only pretty much watch YouTube. And it seems like everybody wants a reason to be upset about something or change something, and not change in a good way, not go to the gym a lot, not quit smoking cigarettes, not fucking do the hard shit. They want to know why it isn't. Why is it me? Why is it? And it's just, that is the problem with the world. And I think the way that I think and act and feel is one reason why I'm alone. But another reason why I'm alone is because most people have they don't have the ability to look at everything and know that it's all, we live in like a Play-Doh world for the most part. You could just fucking form that shit to what you want. And for a while, up until about a month ago, I was getting pretty frustrated with life in a lot of different aspects. But I had to remind myself, basically in the beginning of April, I had just another epiphany. It was just in the beginning of April, I was like, man, I wasted probably 4 months just not acting as quickly and as decisively as I should on a couple things, and sometimes things slip away, but not anymore. And I don't know if you guys pay attention to the subscribers I get, but I'm getting about 2 a day, which is, it's crazy for a surf channel of the length that I've been doing it, the equipment that I'm using to film, the software I'm using to edit. So I feel like my content is judged on a couple different metrics, which is awesome. And dude, is there something on my fucking face? What the hell is this? It's a blonde hair. Or is it a gray? Fuck. Anyways, my channel is like gauged on a couple different metrics, but I think some people that watch and some people that stick around, and I'm talking about watch the long form stuff, not just watch a couple shorts every once in a while. The people that they like to be able to see a person and be able to have some sort of a story to follow along with. It's why I've tried to always film intros now instead of just starting the vlog, and I'm getting better with filming outros. I'll do it while we're surfing if I remember it. I'll do it while we're surfing before the video is over. But my channel is growing for some reason, and if anybody knows, like, surfing channels as a whole, the biggest surfing people on YouTube are small in comparison to YouTube. If you meet me a couple times and you don't think I'm a complete tool, which some people do, because I am sometimes, it's just like, I've met a lot of subscribers that see me down at the beach or something, and they'll come up and it's just a good conversation. None of them are weird, awkward weirdos. They're all cool people, and I think that just goes to show like what I'm trying to build here. Also, on a kind of a weird note, I don't know if any of you guys have seen this, but there's been like an influx of Great Lakes surfing films, like these fucking art noir where someone's like narrating in the background and they got like, I don't like, and it's cool. It's not my thing. Obviously, I do these vlogs and like I'm about going and surfing and being a fucking surfer, not finding the best day I can go out and making it seem like that's what we get, the fucking once in 1,000 year storm, which is cool, right? I'm not shitting on them, but what I want to know is why aren't these people putting out something just a little bit more consistently? It's weird. You see it, like, they're out there. Now, are these guys just good enough to make one, like, be able to take work off for the best day and go and film that? And like, what is it? What is it with this weird, like, Quentin Tarantino-esque fucking Great Lakes surf film shit, but nobody wanting to like make vlogs and show like the dirty side of this shit, show how often we have to go to get good shit, show how hard we have to fucking work for the normal ratty ass bullshit like yesterday? Great day, wonderful day. The waves there was like 3 good sets, and everything else was like hard to get into and choppy and shit, and we love it. We fucking love it. So why don't you guys show that? I'm talking to you. I'm talking right to you, fucking Samuel L. Jackson wannabes. It's crazy. Just like, I want to know. I've seen like 6 of them in the past year. Nobody wants to say where they are. Every spot is secret. But if you look at the pier, you can tell exactly where they are. It's like, gosh, man, you guys need to start making daily vlogs. Pee in your wetsuit a couple times and have some fucking fun. It's sad. It's sad to see all these people trying to make Great Lakes surfing looks like it's some fucking novelty thing. It's like, we could surf 200 fucking days a year. The only thing is the waves suck. Like, there's a dude, go check out this channel. It's called Nobu Surf. I just found his channel, obviously, and I think I found his channel a little bit before he did this, but he wanted to see how many days he could surf. He lives in Hawaii on the south side of the Big Island. So he surfed like 25 days in a row and then like pulled a muscle in his back and he couldn't. But now he's doing a thing where he's surfing all these different spots. And he'll go out, and granted, on the shittiest day, he goes out, the waves are, for our standards, they would be epic. But even like he goes out, the waves are kind of shitty, but he sticks to it. He goes to his spot, he surfs the waves, and you could tell he doesn't hide his feelings about the waves. He'll tell you right to the cameras, like, this is junky. He has a 4-wave minimum. If he doesn't catch 4, you got to catch 4 good waves before you can take off. And that's the shit I'm talking about. This guy, he's in his 50s, I think. Like, he's a legitimate surfer in any size wave, any board. And he still tries to go out and push himself to be a little bit better. You know, just to have fun, fucking be the best he can be. And it's just inspiring. And then you see these guys making these fucking Great Lakes surf films. It's not the same. It's not the same. And you guys need to make vlogs. And make sure that when you do make your first vlog, you give all the credit to me. Because that's why you do it. Not because you want to appease me, but because you want to kind of probably shit on me a little bit, you know? And that's fine. Because the more that you put out, the more people that will get interested. And the more that will see my content. And as we all know, there's plenty of money to go around in the world. And I don't even want it all. I just need a little bit more. So I'm trying to help you help me. And on that note, everybody, that's 24 minutes of almost straight talking. I could go 24 more, but I need to eat some fried rice that I microwaved, and I haven't smoked any wax in a while. So I appreciate you watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave me a comment. I appreciate Kevin, as I think he's the only one that's been watching the entire time. And I think that'll do it for today. I have 2 vlogs that are filmed. Me and Paul surfed Uncle Billy Bay a while back. And Paul went out yesterday too, just late in the day. And he took his girlfriend Ashley out. So she got some waves too. I don't know how they did because they went down the beach, but they were out there. And then I have the vlog from yesterday. So I'll have a video up soon. I'm not just going to keep shooting out shorts. And I think that's going to do it for today. I hope everybody has a good day. Make sure, if you're going to be in West Michigan surfing, or if you want to come over here and surf, let me know. There's a car ferry that comes into Muskegon, and it makes a wave most of the time. Sometimes you got to do the walk of shame, but it's no big deal. And I appreciate you guys. Have a good day.